Hello everybody, here with another board experiment. I'm wanting to try to recreate a historical Celtic game called Brandubh. To do that, I'm going to start with a board. I decided to go with a 12 by 12 leather square. So for the board for this game, we need a 7 by 7 grid with differentiated spots for the square in the middle for where the king gets set up, and the corner squares, which is where you're trying to go. This is still a game that I need to know more about this game myself, but for now, let's get the lint off. I want to create a grid. I already went through and I put marks. Unfortunately, I put too many marks here and I tried to rub the marks off, but I rubbed off the staining for the leather instead. So that's just gonna be a thing. But I want to try to have this be as traditional, like more traditional looking. So I'm going to start off. I want to have Celtic things are known for being very colorful. So I want to use multiple colors in this board. A bit of roughness would be good, but I also don't want it to be too sloppy. So we go through I'm going to have gold for the lines going this way. Now I am going to have green involved, but I'm not going to have the main lines be gold and green. There are more colors, way more colors involved than just those in Celtic culture. Celtic culture was vibrant with their colors, so they also very much enjoy nature, which is hence we have green. It's also shamrocks were used as a symbol of Celtic tradition, and they're green as well. So we're starting with these out. Gold lines. We have a little bit of smudging. I honestly think that's way better than our pen marks over there. I was kind of dumb in laying out the grid. But yeah, there are a number of Celtic games I want to try to learn more about coming up to St. Patrick's Day. I'd like to really bring a historical twist to it, or come back to the history of it, I guess. Historical twist sounds wrong too. Oh no, I let you see my froggy shirt. Sorry. This is I still have a lot more research to do on these games, but apparently this is inspired off of Norse games where you have your king in the middle And then you have 4 pieces protecting your king. And then there are 8 enemy pieces, and you're trying to get the king to the corner squares before he is captured. I still have a lot to learn on this game. Okay, so we have gold lines there for the middle lines going that direction. Now I'm gonna go with our blue going the other direction and throw things around the room. That is a very important part of crafting, isn't it? Now, how dry are these? Okay, I'm gonna have to be careful with this because there are some wet spots still. And since this is a darker paint, I'm gonna be quite free with going a little bit more liberal with it. Though there was a bit of a okay, that line went a little uneven. This is gonna make a really big center square. So that'll be good. I started off with my lines trying to be roughly straight. Now they're not. Oh well, once again, life makes smudges. Okay, so now we have our inside grid, and we have our middle square right there. Let me quickly come back. I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush. The middle square is going to be where our king starts. So I'm going 1, 2, 4. So we're going to paint that one a bright copper. Hopefully that goes with the theme. I want to be very careful not to paint over our grid lines. Okay. I've painted that, and now I'm just gonna kind of swirl it around, because since we have textures, try to make a fun texture in our paint. Just kind of swirl the paint around like that, so we have like, try to make it kind of reminiscent of like a wax seal sort of thing. Now though, now we want to do our outside grid. For that, I'm gonna bring out our paint thing, because I want it to be black mainly, but I also want to use some more of this paint that I used in the middle to mix with the black to give it a little bit of a shine. Okay, technical difficulties with putting the lid back on. Okay, forgive me, everyone. Okay, I'm just gonna stop trying to scoop out of the paint thing and squirt some in. I probably should have done that to begin with. Okay. There we go. Good big squirt of paint. I'm gonna mix it up, because I want this to be like, you look at it and this is a black paint, but have it somewhat shimmer. So then we go. Okay, I picked up some blue there. Blue is a Citadel paint, so a lot thinner. And I used it quite liberally. I also want to use this black rather liberally as well. I'm getting some copper tones on my brush. Hopefully this is good. So I just go along the edges there. I want to try to hit as many of those pen marks as possible. I'm kind of frustrated about the ones on the edge there, which with me trying to rub them off, I just made them all the more visible. So yeah, I would advise not to rub your leather with water to try to get pen marks off. Probably just rub the leather to try to. There we go. I am going to rinse off my paintbrush, but we now have a full board and a painted table. Okay, I'm gonna have to thoroughly get that off. When I'm done, I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush and our mixing lid. And then we can get on with the next part of this build. Okay, I am back. I went and I rinsed things. I just thought I would do a very quick paint mixing. I thought I would just mix some of my gold and some of the Marquage blue paint that I've already used in the grid. Like, they looks like a really good thing to mix to make green. I mixed them together and I ended up with something like more silver, so I added some yellow and green paint. Still got a different color than I expected, but it is more green than what is on the board already. So now a key thing is our home squares. So now we want to come and paint the home squares. This, I don't know what it is color, but it is shimmery, it is kind of green. It is a color. Once again, I'm gonna do a little bit of the swirling, not as much. Like, it isn't really picking up as well as the copper is, so. Oh my goodness, I like painted the black without smearing with the black. That was insane, especially since that black paint is wet. This is a little thicker here, so I'm gonna swirl it a bit more, but not with the black. Now over here we have a nice big square to paint. We have a little bit gap, so the fact that we're painting this square kind of helps fix that. Harder to notice that the line isn't there when you have other colors going on. And yeah, it's like you don't need to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. This board doesn't need to be perfect. Sometimes things just need to be, you know? And it is good to be. I am glad that this board is. This will give me a lot of opportunities to try to research and partake in a historic game that I didn't have the opportunity to do without this board. So there are like so many mistakes going on, but I am excited that this board is. So yeah, we now have this board. I might, once it ends up drying, I might see if I'm brave enough to try to do a Darnot on these squares, because the Darnot represents your destination. But I don't know if I will. Since I'm not sure, I'm gonna like try to texture and swirl these squares a little bit more. I will still need to make pieces for this board. So you will hopefully see it in whatever I end up making it be once I make the pieces for it. But this is a recreation of a board of Brandubh. I am so excited. Hope you guys are having a good day. What are your plans for St. Patrick's Day? There are so many things. Like, Celtic culture, Irish culture is so rich. There's so many things you can do with it. It's fun to experiment. I am hoping to learn new games. What are you guys planning on doing? Once again, if you like me randomly doing randomness, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.